Let's start with a question, one that might make you a little uncomfortable. If your most valuable possessions were stolen, could you actually prove they belong to you? Now, it sounds simple, right? But the answer, well, it's a lot more complicated than you'd think. Let's get into it.
Now really, think about it for a second. Your laptop, that nice camera, maybe a piece of jewelry that's been in your family for years. Poof, it's gone. So you file a police report. And what's the very first thing they're going to ask for? Some kind of proof, a serial number, something unique. Do you have that information on hand, like right now?
And yeah, that's the hard truth of it. For most of us, the answer is a flat no. We might have a receipt buried in some email inbox, maybe a photo on our phone somewhere, but that concrete, verifiable link, the thing that connects you to that specific item, it's usually missing. And that little gap, that's where the whole problem starts.
This leads us to something we can call the ownership paradox. It's that incredibly frustrating situation where you know something is yours, but you just can't prove it to the people who can help. And honestly, this paradox is a huge reason why recovery rates for stolen property are so low, often in the single digits. Let's unpack why that is.
Think about it like this. You know with 100% certainty that the bike the police just found is yours. You remember buying it. You remember every scratch on it. But when law enforcement finds a whole warehouse full of stolen bikes, how can they prove that one belongs to you? Without a serial number or a unique mark that you've got documented, they just can't. And so your bike sits in an evidence locker, and eventually it gets auctioned off.
Okay, so if the old way of stuffing receipts into a shoebox isn't really cutting it anymore, what's the answer? Well, the sources we've looked at all point in one direction, a digital solution, an integrated system that's built from the ground up for asset protection. It all starts with something called asset identification. This is a really cool idea. You're basically giving your physical stuff its own unique digital identity. Think about it. You scan the serial number on your camera or the VIN on your car, and you create this secure digital record that says, hey, this thing belongs to me and only me. So where do you keep all these digital IDs? That's where a digital asset vault comes in. This is like a high-security safe, but for your information. You're not just storing a serial number. You can upload photos from every angle, the original receipt. You can even note any unique scratches or dings. It's a complete dossier of proof. So when the police find that warehouse full of bikes, you just pull up your vault, show them the serial number, the photos, that unique scratch on the frame, and you walk out with your bike. The paradox is solved. But what if you could take it a step further? What if you could track your things before they're lost for good? That brings us to the third piece of the puzzle, smart tracking. This is where we shift from just proving ownership after the fact to actively protecting your stuff by knowing where it is right now, in real time.
All right, so we've got these three big ideas: identifying your assets, storing the proof in a digital vault, and then tracking them. But how does it all come together in the real world? Turns out it's a pretty simple process.
It really just boils down to 4 steps. First, you register your item. That's when you create its unique digital identity. Second, you tag it, either by attaching a physical tracker or a digital one. Third, you monitor it. You can see where it is right from a simple app. And finally, the most important step, recover. If it goes missing, you get an alert, and you've got all the info you need to get it back, fast.
Now, when you hear all this, you're probably thinking about your laptop or your bike, right? But the uses for this kind of system are so much broader. This isn't just for you and me. This technology can scale up to solve some really big problems for businesses too.
I mean, on a personal level, yeah, you could use this to discreetly protect some valuable jewelry. But for a business, imagine being able to track an entire shipping container full of products as it moves across the country. The scale is completely different, but the fundamental need, that verifiable tracking, is exactly the same. And this really shows you the two sides of that coin. For us as individuals, it's about peace of mind. It's about protecting things that have sentimental or high financial value. For a business, though, it's all about efficiency and accountability, cutting down on theft in the supply chain and making sure deliveries get where they're supposed to go. The key takeaway here is that the need for this kind of verifiable proof and tracking, it's universal.
So, where is all this technology headed? The real power isn't just in this system itself. It's in how it's going to start connecting to other really important services.
The next big step is all about integration. Just imagine, your app could connect directly with law enforcement systems, letting you file a verified theft report with a single tap. Or what about seamlessly sending all your proof of ownership to your insurance company to file a claim? When you combine that with things like advanced shipping logistics and easy-to-use mobile dashboards, you get a completely connected ecosystem for protecting your stuff.
And that really brings us to a final big-picture question. As our lives get more and more digital, are we heading toward a future where a secure digital record isn't just the best way to prove you own something, but maybe the only way that really counts? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for watching.